welcome back to Renaissance, Knowing Your True Self. A few more things that happened to me in the past week, and it's just reinforcing my journey in getting to know my true self. I remember, I think I was actually watching a video by one of the motivational speakers that I like to listen to. His name is Ed Milet, and he was talking about do something new every time and challenge yourself, etc. And it resonates with me because I always like to try something new. I'm not one to stay in a routine all the time. I actually get bored really, really fast. So I like to change things up, change my hair, change that. And speaking of hair, look at my gray that's coming out. I'm actually waiting for my hair to grow out long. It's exciting. It was a little bit hard in the beginning when I made the decision, but I'm actually loving it. It's going to change things up for me. So anyway, that's just one example. But I like to try different things. One thing we really maybe sometimes don't realize is that we get so used to being stuck in a routine, right? We just get up, have breakfast, maybe go to work, take the same route, etc. You've heard this before. And then you come back, have supper, watch a little TV, read a book, whatever, get up again, repeat, right? Except for the weekends or days that you have off. Now, the problem with getting stuck in a routine is that we get programmed in a certain way. How many of us actually like being in a routine? I don't know about a lot of people, but like I just mentioned earlier, I get bored. If I have to do the same thing again and again, it drives me nuts. That's why I love my job, because I work in IT, but I work in so many different aspects. And every aspect that I go to challenges me enough to scare me. But then it's something that I know that I got to learn and master. And then as I learn and master it, then I move on to the next thing. I work on projects, so I don't work with the same people all the time. It's always different. It keeps changing, and it keeps me on my toes, which I really like. Same thing. So with my life. So I like to try different things. I've had people say, why don't you just take a few things and just stick with it? And I'm like, no, I get bored really fast. But the other thing too is I realize is one motivation to try something new is you never know if you like something or you don't like something. You get to know about yourself when you try different things. Sometimes, you try something, you realize you like it and it gives you a certain joy. That is connecting to your true self. I remember one time, it was really interesting. I was at an event. And there was a part of the event, they had like a drum circle where people had these little drums and they sat around in a circle and there was somebody guiding them. And I in the beginning, did not think for something that I would be interested in. So I stood outside the circle and I was just watching with other spectators. And then I'm like, this looks pretty good. Maybe, let me sit in there and try. So luckily there was a chair, there was a drum. So I went, sat there and I started participating. And believe it or not, within minutes, someone had taken a photo and the expression on my face, I was a child. I felt so euphoric, you can't even explain. I never felt that feeling ever. Something with the drums, something that just evoked something in me. And it was like, I was just so in the moment and feeling like I said, euphoric and excited. And the photo that I have is like, I was like a kid, just like completely in awe, and it was great. And then when it finished, I think the whole thing might have been half hour. I was almost ready to scream, like, no, don't stop, keep going, right? So I realized something like that. Unfortunately, they didn't have that. When I asked the person who was running it, apparently they only do it in groups and, which makes sense. So that was unfortunately the first and last time. I shouldn't say first and last because there should be more coming up and I just had to keep my eyes and ears open and jump at the next opportunity if another drum circle event shows up. So that was that. And what if I had not sat? What if I just sat down there with the others? What if I just stood there and been a spectator? I would have missed out on that natural kind of a high that I was feeling. I took belly dancing lessons. I first thought it was really stupid, but whatever, let me just give it a try. And the both times that I went, I remember that I was just in a zone. I wouldn't say euphoric the way I had with the drum circle, but it was still something very, it was just something that I could just be present and just enjoy it and just feel like the movement, the dance, the music, etc. So it taught me something there, that, you know, maybe this is something, not that I'm going to be a professional belly dancer. Well, you never know, right? But all kidding aside, I don't know where that's going to lead me. I might go back and take a look at it. But it was something that I realized that, yeah, I enjoyed that. And I remember actually asking if there was more. And apparently there are other places in the city. This was through the leisure guide here in Winnipeg. And I asked through the see if there was anything else. And I just hadn't found anything that is convenient for me. And yeah, things shouldn't be convenient, but I just, maybe the timing isn't right at the moment. Exercising. I tried going to a gym which offers 9 rounds of just half an hour of boxing, sparring, you know. And I remember doing that for a few months. And then I enjoyed it so much. I didn't have to negotiate with myself. I was ready to take my gym bag and just head over to the gym, put on my boxing gloves, and just go at it. Just have fun. When that stopped, when I finished, and I went back to regular, like lifting weights, whatever, it wasn't the same. It just was dead to me. I remember that it got to the point where I was just negotiating with myself whether to go to the gym, not go to the gym, go to the gym, you know, etc. And I'm like, no. And I know that my health is supposed to be a priority, but why is it that this was becoming so much of a chore? And I'm like, I can be doing something that is like, oh, like I go to the gym, I'll be fine, but it wasn't enough of me to just get in the car and just go. And then just in the last week, the thought came to me that maybe I should go back to boxing. And I'm giving it a try again, starting this week and next week. I found myself that, actually I started last week. I started on October 1st. And today is October the 6th. I've already gone 4 times. When I was doing lifting weights, I was going maybe once, maybe twice a week, sometimes not even. I'd had every excuse in the book not to go. And here I had already gone 4 times. And it's been 6 days. The 2 days were the weekend that I took off. So what is that telling me? I actually enjoyed it. I would get up in the morning and just go run to the gym. And I'd punch away. I came back sweating. Endorphins are high. I also got to do some sparring, which I enjoy. So that's something for me to look forward to. So things that we have to do doesn't have to be a chore or something. Sometimes, yeah, there are things you got to do that are, we don't like them, but we got to do them. Like, for example, cleaning. I'm not a big fan of cleaning, but I know I got to do them, etc. But other things like, hey, keep experimenting, keep trying new things, keep your mind open. You just never know what you encounter that gives you that closeness to yourself. Because I'm telling you, it's not the money, it's not the people, it's not anything that gives you that validation. It's connecting to your true self that actually gives you that joy. I can't explain the joy I feel when I am at the gym in the morning, when I'm boxing in the morning. I can't explain the joy I was feeling when I was, doing my belly dancing. Cannot explain the euphoria I was feeling when I was doing the drum roll. Those were all things that somehow was connected to me and where my true self really was being realized. And so I remember talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and she said, anything you see that you're interested in that gives you joy, write it down and then watch and see if there's any sort of pattern there. So I was like, yeah, I think that's a great idea. Because the more you try different things, the more you see what gives you that real joy, not just doing it because you have to do it. Those are ways to find more about your true self. And when you're connected to your true self and you're being yourself, that's where the real happiness comes in. And I know that from those fleeting moments that I have, the joy comes in. I want to tell you this, that ever since I started working out back at boxing, it's weird. My mood has been like crazy. Like I may get a little upset here and there for whatever situation, and then I was fine. If you look at it, I feel light, I feel happy, I feel everything, and like all good feelings. I'm grateful, etc. So that's one of the things, gratitude, being connected to your true self. And these two cuteness. I love these two. All right, I will sign out for now, and we'll talk soon. Bye. Bye from Mint.